Hi, I'm Katie DeRienzo, and during the past 4 weeks of school, we have been discussing William Butler Yeats' poetry and what inspires him. William Butler Yeats was a poet in Irish history that was greatly influenced by the Irish culture, landscape, and mythology. Yeats portrays much of the Celtic history in his works, which shows how significant Irish history was to him. Through his poems, he expresses his passion for Irish history and the aspects of Ireland that brought him inspiration. In class, we discussed 4 poems by Yeats that include The Falling of the Leaves, The Stolen Child, To Ireland in the Coming Times, and The Lake Isle of Innisfree. In all of these poems, Yeats exposes his true emotions about nature and Irish history and how it made an impact in his life. In both The Falling of the Leaves and The Lake Isle of Innisfree, Yeats shows his true feelings and love for nature. The Falling of the Leaves, he talks about how the season of autumn is ending and all the beautiful colored leaves are falling from the trees. This makes Yeats have a weary and worn, sad soul because the season of passion forgets us. The speaker means that now that autumn has ended, he might forget what the season feels like. In the Lake Isle of Innisfree, the speaker feels that he is not at peace standing on the roadway or on the pavement's gray, so far away from nature. He says that he goes to Innisfree, he will have some peace there. This makes the reader believe that Yeats is inspired by nature because it brings him a spiritual aspect of peace that lets him escape from reality. By being this in touch with nature, the speaker allows his emotions to be released through the poem. Yeats longs to be in nature to see and hear everything that he remembers about Innisfree. Just as he remembers seeing the vibrant colors of nature autumn leaves, Yeats recalls the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. Both poems give off morbid vibes because the speaker just wants to be in nature, although it is either passing him by or too far away. The difference that these 2 poems have is the location of the speaker in the poems. In the Lake Isle of Innisfree, Yeats is far away from nature, which is why he wants to arise and go to Innisfree. He dreams of being at Innisfree because it will bring him peace. The location of the speaker in this poem is somewhere far away from nature, surrounded by roadways and gray pavements, and which causes Yeats to yearn for Innisfree. In The Falling of the Leaves, Yeats is surrounded by nature, but he is upset that the season of autumn is ending. He shows his passion for the season through the lively imagery used to explain the leaves. Since autumn is such a colorful season, the speaker is disheartened that the upcoming season is winter, which is lifeless and dull. The speaker talks with such enthusiasm about autumn leaves that will destroy him to see that they have all died and fallen from the trees. Although these poems are not exactly alike and have different meanings in their context, both poems show Yeats's great passion for nature. The Falling of the Leaves and the Lake Isle of Innisfree both reflect the poet's emotions towards his inspiration of nature. Yeats is heavily influenced by nature, landscape, and Ireland itself, which is relevant through these 2 poems. Through his words, Yeats is able to put his feelings down and use poetic techniques such as imagery. In both poems, the speaker makes you feel like you are actually at Lake Innisfree, or in the season of fall, watching the leaves. Yeats uses imagery so strong that it lets the reader dream of the places he describes in his poems. Yeats' poems with the same feeling and emotion just as he experiences them. In To Ireland in the Coming Times, Yeats writes about wanting to be known for his accomplishments for helping Ireland through their rough times. He also says that he wants to be recognized alongside Davis, Megan, and Ferguson, who were famous people throughout Irish history. Yeats claims that in his poems, his rhymes tell discoveries, mystical creatures, and Irish imagination are better than the other poets. The poets he writes are not just fiction, but they clench the deep and dark truths in human. Yeats' poems embody the elements of Irish life, history, and imagination, and he thinks he should be recognized for his works. In The Stolen Child, Yeats believes that childhood is found through the landscape in Ireland. He is inspired by the traditions such as weaving old dances. He thinks that children should have fun while they are young because the real world is filled with troubles, worries, and tears. In Yeats's eyes, childhood is the most important thing for growing up in life. I believe that the title reflects a child that did not have a memorable childhood, or how the landscape took away from the child from the difficulties of life. Both of these poems show Yeats's Irish ties to the Celtic tradition. We also discussed in class how we will be writing our essays that are due Monday. The class talked about comparing and contrasting the similarities and differences between poems in our essay, and writing what we think Yeats was trying to say in these poems. In doing this, we will have a better understanding for Yeats and the Irish tradition he uses throughout his poems. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you learned more about Yeats.